With me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination.
Alzheimer's disease in the spotlight in the wake of Gene Wilder's death. The comedy legend, best known for his role as Willy Wonka, died over the weekend at the age of 83 from complications linked to the disease. And yesterday, following his death, the search for Alzheimer's on Google went up 4,000%.
His battle with the condition was kept private until just this week. Joining us now to talk about the disease which touches so many is Kathy Barrick, the CEO of the Alzheimer Society of Toronto. Good morning.
Good morning.
I myself know all too well the devastating effects, having lost my paternal grandfather to Alzheimer's, and the slow evolution as to what happens and deteriorates. And as a family, you feel like you're losing them spiritually and mentally before they go physically. So first of all, in terms of the stigma, why do you think it's something that's rarely talked about?
That goes back kind of since the beginning of time, I suppose, in that people just don't want to talk about it. Historically, people have sort of thought, you know, people are losing their mind, they're embarrassed. And as the disease starts to progress, people sometimes embarrass themselves out in public, they're forgetful, things like that. So I think people just have not talked about it.
We always know when we're talking about something that touches a nerve. I'm getting a lot of reaction to this, of people who are caring right now for someone who's living with Alzheimer's. When someone comes to you and they're saying, I don't know what to do, and what is the first step people need to take? Because there might be people right now who have suspicions that someone is entering this.
Early stages.
Yeah. The first thing to do is, if you have concerns, is to see a doctor right away. You know, as you mentioned in the preamble to this, is that there's still no cause or cure or even really effective treatment, but at least having a baseline to understand where you're starting from so people can watch you progress. And there are some medications that can help. But definitely see a doctor.
And don't self-diagnose, because people at home might be thinking, oh man, I'm scared because I'm forgetful now. There's a difference between forgetfulness that comes with age versus dementia versus Alzheimer's.
Yeah, exactly. Dementia is not a normal part of aging. It is a disease, so it's not normal. So if you are noticing, and it's really if you're noticing that it's interfering with your life and things that you would normally be able to remember, and it's not even, oh gosh, I've forgotten somebody's name. It's if you look at your checkbook and forget, I don't know how to write a check anymore. Things like that, those are, you know, really concerning.
And you don't have to be old as well. We think this is just, you know what, so it's 60 and up.
Yeah, no, it's not. And you know, interestingly, we actually see a lot more people at the Alzheimer Society of Toronto that have early and young onset dementia. One of our favorite people, John Mann from Spirit of the West, young onset dementia.
Is there anything we can do to prevent or stave off the onset of Alzheimer's?
Healthy living, honestly, is the best thing. Exercise and a healthy diet. Anything that's good for your heart is good for your brain. So exercise is amazing. We should all hit the gym for sure, and eating healthy.
Now, if we have a loved one who we are caring for at home, at what point does it become too much? Is it better for them to be in their home environment as an Alzheimer, someone living with it?
Yeah, that's a hard one. I mean, it's really a balance. I mean, it's really hard on families. Dina, you said you know your grandfather, and you see families really affected. So it really is a balance. If it's becoming too much to handle, then obviously other options are available. And there's some great options out there. So there's no one answer really for families.
Yeah. You know, you try different things. We would tie the string with a bell so that you could be alerted if he left the house, because oftentimes that happens. They're disoriented, will get on a bus or just walk for miles, as you often report here on the show, and go missing until someone's able to find them and bring them back home safe. Or sometimes they just slow down in terms of their eating, and they just really need that constant care. So
a great place to start, alzheimer.ca. On Twitter, ALZ, Alz Toronto, at Alz Toronto. Let's get the conversation going. Let's talk about it. Let's not hide it.
For sure.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's get rid of that stigma.
Be there for one another. We're pillars of strength for one another within families and within communities that become families.
Absolutely.
Kathy, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.